Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another edition of 49ers Live tonight, NFC Divisional Playoff Edition on Niners Radio 49. Professor B, glad you joined us tonight here in our satellite digital media studios here in San Francisco as we are getting you ready for the NFC Divisional Playoffs as we are here on this Tuesday night, the second full week of the new year, 2026. Niners getting back to work. We'll have in our first segment. We'll have our Kyle Shanahan segment. We talk with the media earlier today, and then we'll have some news and notes around the NFL. And hope you guys join in, checking us out on YouTube.com. YouTube.com/@NinersRadio49. Please also click the subscribe button. If you hit the subscribe button, you'll get all you watch content, stuff you missed from the past. You can catch all the content. So check us out, YouTube.com/@NinersRadio49. So already now we're getting real close towards our 500 videos. So, keep on supporting 49ers on Niners Radio 49. So, without further ado, we are now going to switch it over to Kyle Shanahan and his presser earlier in the day. He talked with the media so we are going to show you that right now. So we're going to do the audio version. So, Professor B, this is Kyle Shanahan earlier today. This segment begins right now.
Luke Gifford, quad won't practice. Pooney, ankle, limited. Keon White, groin, hamstring, limited. Ricky Purcell, knee, limited. Yetur, knee, limited. Trent, hamstring / vet day. Go ahead.
You said you were hoping this game would be on Sunday, but you thought it would be on Saturday. But if they were cool, they might have done it differently. When you heard it was definitely Saturday, what was your response?
Kind of prepared for that mentally, so it is what it is. Where do you go?
Nope.
They announced it last night, so you could start your daily planning.
Yeah, we found out we were going Saturday after the game Sunday night, after New England won. We didn't find out the time until last night.
You guys had a short week. You had a short week going into week 18 against this team. Are you doing anything differently this week in terms of rest, in terms of practice, in terms of going full speed in any of the practices that you
Different than that week, or just?
Yeah, that week.
I mean, that week we didn't do one thing full speed because it was our third game in 13 days, so it wasn't just that short week. It was the 2 weeks before short weeks also. So doing it this week, I mean, that's what we got to do today. Change the times up. We usually bring them in for about 7 hours a day. They're only in for about 3.5. We'll do all walkthrough, nothing full speed. We won't go against each other at all. And then we'll see how it goes. Let's see how guys feel and decide what we want to do tomorrow.
Mac Jones said before the first Rams game that you were aware of the spread and it annoyed you because it was so lopsided. Are you currently aware that the Niners have the worst Super Bowl odds, and does that annoy you too?
No, man. I think Mac was just talking. I was just messing with him before the game. I actually have never taken a spread personally.
That last game against Seattle, you had some success late offensively. Did you build off that, or what were your thoughts on that last part of that game against Seattle?
I mean, nothing happened differently on that one drive. It was just more of, when another team holds the ball for a while, similar to what we did in the first game, how on point you have to be. And whether that's doing better on first and second down, so you avoid as many third downs as we did. But if you don't do that, you got to do good on third down. I think we converted like one third down in that game up until that point. I think we got a field goal on that drive. But it's when a team holds the ball that long, if you're not doing the same by moving the chains well or playing at a high level on third down, that's usually how it's going to be.
How impactful is it that you'll have Trent back for this, especially for this divisional round, as opposed to the earlier game, the last game of the season when he was out with the hamstring?
Yes, I mean, it's obviously never easier when Trent's not out there. And it was a big challenge not having him out there that game, but I thought for the most part Austin stepped up really well. Was not at all the reason that game ended up the way it was. But it was awesome having Trent back last week, and I want to really embrace having him back this week.
What is with the players at all? Are they coming in late today, or?
Yes, yeah.
Feel for your staff, how you feel? Do you feel like you still have the effects of the game, or do you feel tired right now, guys around you?
I feel great. I feel showered, fresh. I'm wearing my Crocs. Gonna brush my teeth here in a second and get going. I'm just joking. I did that early. I'm not like that, but no, it is what it is. You're like that this time of year. You've kind of been in a hole for about 7 months, and once you get to the playoffs, it really doesn't matter. Everyone's into it. So whether they gave us 3 days, 1 day, 8 days, you always have your preferences for common sense reasons. But whenever you get dealt your hand, you're ready to roll.
How are they reporting the players coming in today?
They came in at 10. Yeah, they came in at 10.
You twice so quickly to expect the game planning strategy heading into the game.
How do you what?
Expect the game plan when you're playing a team twice, but then
And you'll see when you get to the game. But it's you definitely can't overthink it. But it's also at the same time kind of hard to overthink.
Anything has gone down since the last game. Well, they've got to watch 70 or so plays of whatever we did versus Philly. But we get in late, whatever, and there's one game for us to watch, and that's the one that we all watched last week. So you only can watch that so much. We know each other very well. We played against each other a ton. The schemes even. And timing and situational when you're going to see that stuff, but it kind of simplifies everything, which usually the playoffs as a whole are kind of that way too.
There's already online talk between
Nick Martin's cleared through, at least is able to come back now off IR. Was it you going to activate him or?
No, he's still in the protocol. Yeah, still in protocol.
There's already online talk about between your guys and Seahawks players. Would you say that's a positive or a negative thing when guys are kind of smack talking during the week online?
Like them personally?
Like one player already commented on Fred Warner's Instagram, the rodents here, brother, and there was stuff after week 18 with Kenneth Walker and Jason and Demo.
Yeah, I think that's all like wrestling, I guess. Just fake entertainment, and if it distracts someone or gets them out of preparation or something, or they lose their emotions during the game and they make things personal or something, then of course, but I think everyone's just having fun.
What was the call on the final play, on the final touchdown to CMC, and were there plays earlier in the game that you feel like set that play up or that chance?
I mean, it's more of there's man-to-man routes all over. So, I mean, every out-breaking route you have, you want to end breaking route off of it. So there's a combination of there's 5 guys who got out on the route. So I want to say that play was exactly set up, but there was definitely routes that our players run throughout the game that are the opposite on that play.
Eric Wallow first pop up on your radar as a professional athlete? What was your first impression?
Mine was first day of practice when they told me we got a guy off Denver's practice squad, and I got to meet him in the special teams room before we went out there. It was cool to talk to him, asked him how Dre was doing, how Huff was doing, how DJ was doing. Talked a little bit about his time in Houston, and then got to go out and watch him out in practice, and right away you could tell, and I felt pretty excited of who we got. You never know when you get a guy who's on someone else's practice squad how they're going to be, and but right away you could tell he was an NFL player with a lot of upside and who knew what he was doing.
We know how loud it is in Seattle. We're talking to fans who are making the trip on Saturday. How vital is the 49er fan base to show up?
Oh, always. I mean, our fan base shows up better than anyone to me in the NFL, or better than anyone wherever I've ever been by far. I think it's always harder in the playoffs. For some reason, I don't know how it works, but stadiums do a better job of getting it to their home fans. But our fans roll deep, so hopefully it'll be the same as usual.
If you have a look at the film, did Siegel, Wallow, and Kendricks play as well as it appeared, and have they set themselves up for being more substantial roles down the road?
Yes, definitely. I mean, I think they've kind of done that regardless. You know, Siegel showed us early in the year. We see him at practice every day. We never knew when the Zop would come, and right when Tig went down, he was ready, and he did play as good as it felt live. Kendricks was another story, just coming out of off the street, you know, being at home. But all those guys played at such a high level, and that's what we need. We've had a lot of guys injured, so guys have to come in and step it up, and we'll see how our team is this week. Some of those guys are still injured, so we're not sure how the week will go, but based on how those guys did last week, it definitely gives you a lot more confidence going in the game.
Is there about whether or not Fred will come back?
What's that?
Has there been an update as to whether or not Fred could?
We're activated. We're opening his window, so he can do some stuff like that. But again, we're not doing much, so he'll walk through out there with us today and things like that. But hoping he can be ready for next week.
Actually, about Seattle's defense last week, and kind of another on that front. What makes their D so tough? Is it the front? Is it the speed of that second level? Is it the talent on the backside of McDonald? What kind of
all four of it. I think they're extremely talented at all three levels. I think they have a very good scheme. It's very balanced, and they can hit you in any way. I think the personnel not only is talented for any scheme, but is perfectly talented for their scheme. And I think they've been playing with not the exact same group, but close to the same group for 2 straight years.
Looks like Juwan Jennings is trying.
When you have a talented group with a very good scheme,
TV on this date in
it's been playing together for 2 years.
And if you like these videos, please like, comment, and share them.
He did have the post. He's ready whenever. Obviously, he's a player. He wants to play. But do you have to hold him back a little yourself, or how do you kind of approach a situation like this?
Approach it by what doctors tell me. I mean, I'm like Fred. If he feels good and tells me he's good, I'm probably going to think he's good and trust him to get out there. But you can't always think with your heart and emotionally, you know. And so you ask doctors where he's at, all the things that these guys have to pass, just protocols that we have in with just sprinting and jumping and things like that. And he's got to hit all those before he feels safe.
What's he been like in the last couple weeks? Has he been kind of coming up to you and trying to advocate to open the window, or is that?
No, that's not Fred's style totally. He does that by showing how hard he's working on the side and knows that we're watching. And so he knows he doesn't have to do that to me. As soon as he's ready, obviously it'll be zero decision on my part.
Will have surgery, and if he'll be able to be around at all in the next couple of weeks, just kind of.
Yeah, he's supposed to. I believe he's supposed to have surgery tomorrow. So I think that would make it hard for this weekend. But we'll see after that.
A lot of coaching turnover. Obviously, Kyle Tomlin stepped down today as well. Does it feel like you're the second longest tenured coach in the NFL now? And of all your 9 seasons, is this the most teaching and innovating and creating that you've had to do?
No, it's shocking to think that Sean and I are probably second most tenured or something like that. And Sean. So that does feel weird, but I do feel like I'm getting older, so maybe that makes sense. And I want to say this is the most creative and innovative that we've been. I think we're doing what we always do, and sometimes you have injuries, you have a good record, so you get more attention for it, but I feel like we're doing the same thing we always do. Just try our hardest and try to prepare our players.
The long pass to Jennings after Kittle got injured, that's a throw Brock has made time and time again. It's an expert, but it looks hard. You got to fit over the linebacker before the safety gets there. And you run it a lot. Have you had a quarterback that can make that throw better than Brock? And what does it take, from a quarterback to be able to do that?
Yeah, there's some. Matt Ryan was pretty good at layering balls, but I'm not gonna say anyone's better than Brock at it. That's probably one of Brock's best things. He can really drop it in a bucket. Guys can be deep, and if there's a way to get over that guy and bring it down before the back, before you sail it over a receiver, he's going to do that, and he doesn't miss it very much.
You mentioned after the game on Sunday that you had for years been going against Eric Kendricks on the silent tape. before you even met him. What about the silent tape spoke loudest about his style of play?
Just when you watch a guy all week and then you play against him and you can just tell whether it's mental or natural feel. Like they know how to flow with the quarterback. They know how to just melt into where the ball's going. Fred Warner's as good as anyone at it. But that's why I brought up I wanted to hire someone like KJ Wright, who I didn't know because I felt that way about him. I knew D'Amico, but felt that way going against D'Amico. You know, there's some guys who are so elite at that. Like Luke Kuechly was unbelievable at that. Sean Lee was unbelievable at that. Just guys who seem like they have a natural feel for how the quarterback's rhythm is, how your offense's rhythm is, where they can predict things pre-snap, and they can always find a way to make the quarterback throw it right to them.
Last one, guys.
Man, the jet sweep to Sky Moore, was it 2 plays before it? One touchdown pass. Then you said good react. Said between quarters, like, hey. Anyway, did he suggest it because you had just run the jet sweep, or how did that unfold?
I mean, Kub and I, that's how the whole game goes with me and Clay. I mean, Clay and I are together all week, so every play call, like, we go through. I mean, that's what we've been doing all yesterday until the players came in. So every play that we put in, we talk about how we want to do it, how you want to set it up, if you need to set it up, what coverages we like it against. Do we feel how bad of a call and how much will it set us back if we call it versus the wrong look? So that's something that we do on every single play all week. So that's why we're going to need a break from each other soon.
Last up, your dad in career playoff wins. Something you thought about, talked to your dad about this week at all? Or
no, my wife actually told me that on the plane, so it actually surprised me. I didn't believe it, so I thought it was like fake news or something. So I went back and tried to count them, and it was pretty cool. So I'll let him hear about it this weekend.
All right, guys.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right, that's what you heard. Kyle Shanahan down in Santa Clara earlier in the day. That audio feed courtesy from 49ers.com. Now, coming up, we are going to hear from the locker room earlier in the day. We're going to hear from. I'm trying to see who we're going to have. Eric Kendricks, who ready for the road playoff game. This was earlier in the day. Down at 49ers headquarters. And this was from so this is Eric Kendricks talking to the media as they getting ready for the next challenge coming up. So this is Eric Kendricks. This was earlier in the day. I'm going to pull this up.
I mean, obviously, if you want like a short-term, I'm always calling me a smart ass. If you want a smart ass answer, we're gonna need to, hold them to less points than we have. We score more points than we win, essentially. But at the same time, we're gonna have to tackle well. We're gonna obviously have to bring it. We got beat last time. It's gonna be a battle. We know that for sure.
I know you guys were probably hoping for a Sunday game, but it's another short week. So what was the reaction playing on Saturday?
I mean, it is what it is. We can't control that kind of stuff. At the end of the day, we're playing meaningful football. We want to play meaningful football. These games mean a lot, and we know what's at stake. So we better get ready for it.
Eric, what were you doing 5 weeks ago today? Like, what did a typical Tuesday look like for you?
Typical Tuesday, I probably wake up at 6 a.m. or, my workout started at 6 a.m. So I would wake up at probably like 5:20, be out the door by 5:40, be at UCLA by 6 a.m., be out of UCLA by 7:10, get home to my kids at 7:30, wake them up for school, or not for school. My kids are 2 and 1, so I wake them up for the day. Make my son some pancakes, make my daughter some eggs, and then I'll be out the door to my second workout, which was like my rehab workout, by 9 a.m. with Dr. John, and that's like it's in El Segundo, so I drove there, got there by 9 a.m. After that, I sometimes had another workout, whether that was Pilates or or field work later that day. But I try to keep myself busy, try to stay in a routine, because I just know if I needed to be ready, I was going to be ready.
How does playing in Philadelphia last week, that kind of environment, help you going into Seattle, which is another hostile environment?
I mean, man, if you can't get your mind right to play playoff football, home or away, you're in the wrong sport. I feel like that was a testament to how we prepared, but also just handling the environment, handling all that stuff. I don't want to talk too much about last week, but I can vouch for the fact that the atmosphere is going to be just as electric, going up to Seattle. So man, that's what makes football fun. We're on the road, we're in a hostile environment. People want us to see us fail, but it's all about bringing your pads on the road, like Fred told me today. So bring your pads on the road and get ready to hit somebody.
After the game, Kyle Shanahan said that even though he just met you not too long ago, he felt that he knew you for years through the silent tape by preparing for defenses that you were on. Does the opposite work too? Whenever you prepared for a Shanahan offense in the 49ers, can you kind of communicate or
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. I think I think Shanahan. We talk about offensive coordinators. Shanahan, Ben Johnson, those kind of guys. Those guys are the guys that I hated playing against the most, which means I usually respected them the most as well. There's a couple other coordinators in there as well, but yeah, the respect is mutual for sure. I mean, we knew each other through joint practices and just obviously competing against each other, and just the respect for the game. But now getting to know him a lot more, we have a lot in common. Both Cali boys as well.
Do you remember where you first were? Were you watching the game when Fred got hurt, and kind of what went through your mind when you learned of that injury?
Honestly, like I wasn't watching. I didn't watch the exact play when he got hurt. I think I had just changed the channel, and then my phone started blowing up, and it was actually other people trying to tell me that what had happened. And obviously it was super unfortunate, and it was it was a freak accident. Obviously, he's one of the guys who's just like super tough and like never missed any games. So when I saw how it went down, it was kind of messed up. But ultimately, I feel like it was me looking at teams across the league and where I wanted to be. Obviously there was some interest there as far as coming and helping out if I could.
When you did.
I was ready to sign with a team. I went into shoulder surgery in I think the end of January last year, and I was ready to sign with the team probably like 4 months after that, like physically. Until I got cleared, essentially, we kind of wanted to wait till after then. But I was ready to sign with the team in the off season. I really was. It was if something felt right. It was about me getting a playbook and getting in there with the guys, but. It was just me being patient, kind of like not being too eager to jump on something that didn't feel right, and just waiting for that right opportunity.
When you did review game film of the Philadelphia game, what did you think, and then especially on the last play?
I should have caught it. I mean, like I said, I don't want to talk too much about last week. I think that we played really well as a defense. I think we battled the whole game, and it was we knew that it was going to be a long game, and I think the things that looking back, the things that we emphasize, the things that we did well are going to carry us through the playoffs. Game tackling well in open space, tracking, things like that we did well in the Philly game are going to lead to success further. But yeah, just make play when it comes to you.
You've been in the league a while and had many different coordinators. What makes Robert Saleh different in the short amount of time you've been here?
Man, it's the trust in the players, and it's just the emphasis on play style. I feel like, everybody talks about a play style. Everybody wants to, emphasize running to the ball and hitting with tenacity. But, I mean, here, play style, it runs everything.
What do you think the key is to getting to Darnold, shaking him up and getting him out of rhythm? Or is he a guy, no matter what you throw at him, is he pretty unflappable?
I think the key is to, get to, second and third and long. You know what I mean? And do well in the early downs, and then just play our game. Play our game, be physical, tackle well in the run game, and make throws.
All right, that was Eric Kendricks from earlier down at 49ers headquarters talking about, he's putting the win in Philadelphia behind him and moving on to the Seattle Seahawks. Niners and Seahawks will be on Saturday. That will be the second window of the game on Saturday night, 5 o'clock kickoff. That will be on Fox Sports. We are going to take a we're going to take a we're not going to take, we're going to just we're now going to hear from Kendrick Bourne and how the 49ers experiencing the underdog world as they head up to Seattle for this weekend, as they get ready for the rubber match of for the series and the berth to the NFC Championship. Here's Kendrick Bourne talking to the media, and the audio feed courtesy from our friends at NBC Sports Bay Area, and this segment begins right now.
I think it's just going in there, with confidence, energy. It's just who plays harder. X's and O's all day, but who plays harder, who wants it more.
You talk about how long it was between the first two games. Had they changed much defensively from what you saw in week one?
I actually didn't play week one. I watched the film and seen, but they're a different team. They've improved a lot. Like you can tell, just as a team, even on the offensive side. So, but they have good DBs. They just play well, and that's what we have to come in and know.
What's the key when you face a team for a third time in one season?
Yeah.
Because they know you know them.
Yeah.
You can change things up, but
yeah.
at the end of the day, the base is still the
Yeah,
base.
it's just playing hard. Who plays harder, who wants it more, who wants to go to the NFC Championship. That's like what it comes down to. It's not rocket science. And short week, we've faced adversity a lot this year, so we can walk around talking about that all day, but we know what's on the line. So when we get there, gotta use the adrenaline, play with energy, passion, and see what happens.
You're a guy that's on social media. Did you take exception to what some of the Seahawks posted after Week 18, and can you use that as bulletin board material?
So I heard about that a little bit today. Hank was talking about our receiver coach. It was funny. JJ, he's ready. He's always ready. I heard they posted something like, this is what they want to. So it's kind of the same build-up. It's hype. It's hype behind the media. It's hype behind everything. But all that matters is when we get there Saturday night and who plays harder, who plays tougher, and the result's going to show. So it's on both sides to do their best and who gets the upper hand.
How did Hank present that to you guys? Is that coming up over the like the PowerPoint basically?
Nah, he was just watching film. He's like, you all see that on social media? And we was like, nah, none of us really saw it. So he saw it first. We was like, send it to us. So we trying to stir it up a little bit. But, there's no fear, nothing. We got a team that wants this. This is what we live for. Like, we created this opportunity. People doubting us, the world say we shouldn't even win that last game. So this is what we live for. I love the antics of it. I'm all on it too. So I don't got no particular person I'm calling out, but last time they was talking a lot, and we're ready for this challenge.
Culture's kind of an abstract term, but it gets talked about a lot here. Approach the way teams do things. You were in New England when Belichick was still there, so I imagine, their approach must have been deliberate and kind of similar. Was it similar, or was it what are differences? What did you do here?
It's the same. It's football. You can't overthink it. Every place has their different ways of doing things, but Kyle and them do a good job of getting us prepared, planning. It's a shorter week, so today we didn't really run full speed or nothing. So it's kind of that. You deal with that and things like that. So if we played on Sunday, we might have practiced today or practiced tomorrow and waited. But it's just different challenges. But it's all the same. It's football, and we all prepare different. Some people, I didn't do as much. I didn't play as many snaps as somebody else may have. So he may be hurting more than I am. So the coaches in the organization have to put in perspective of who played a lot and who might be hurting more at linemen. So every place is different, but it's football, and we have to prepare how we supposed to.
All right, that's Kyle Kendrick. How they're going about this on Sunday, embracing that underdog role. Niners and taking on the Seahawks up at the Pacific Northwest, going coast to coast. Last Sunday they were in the city of brotherly love. Now they go from the city of brotherly love to the Pacific Northwest. They had their cheesesteaks, and now they're about to head up to Seattle and get some of that hot chocolate, some coffee to wash down them cheesesteaks from Starbucks. So we are going to. We are going to get ready to wrap it up for tonight. I'd like to thank all of you for watching 49ers Live tonight. As we Niners and Seahawks Saturday night, 5 p.m. The winner of this game will punch their ticket to the NFC Championship. The Niners are just one victory away for making it 3 out of 4 for the fifth time in the last 7 years. And so some NFL news, non-49ers news. The big news, two big news stories of the day. Mike Tomlin of the Pittsburgh Steelers, after that humiliating loss to the Houston Texans in the wild card last night in Pittsburgh, he is stepping down after 19 seasons at the helm of the Pittsburgh Steelers. So, and for the Steelers, who have not won a playoff game in more than 2 decades. I'm gonna, in fact, before we get off the air, I want to hear some audio feed from. Try to get some. So, Mike Tomlin, who's been there for 19 seasons, and we're gonna take this time out, and when we come back, we'll just so Tomlin's going to step down, and then also the Philadelphia Eagles fired our offensive coordinator Kevin Perillo after that disappointing performance against the 49ers, their playoff loss. So we're going to wrap it up for tonight. I'd like to thank all of you for watching on Niners Radio 49. We thank you for your continuous support. And check us out, youtube.com/@NinersRadio49. And always click the subscribe button. So for now, Professor B, get ready to sign off for tonight. And you've been watching 49ers Live tonight on Niners Radio 49 in association with the Satellite Digital Media News Network, where every team is a fan, every fan is a voice, the network home of champion. Wish you, all of you, a good night, everybody. Take care.
Wow.